What's good, YouTube? Swiftly here back with another NBA 2K25 video, and in today's video, I have another episode of Rare Builds for you guys. As you can see on your screen, today's episode, we are going to be creating a rim protector. So with that being said, let's jump right into the build. Now, I made this build at the center position. Height, I went 6'10 on the height. I went 250 on the weight, and I went 7'2 on the wingspan. Now, obviously, if you want, you can make this build, taller if you want. I went 6'10 on the height just because I wanted this build to be just a little bit more mobile. I was looking for something more like a Bam Adebayo type of build, like a build that can be a great shot blocker, but also a build that can be mobile. I have multiple center builds. I have a 7-foot center, I have a 7'1 center, and I was even in the mix of making a 7'3 center. But the one thing I've really played around with and noticed is that if you go 7'1 or taller, it is really, really hard to have really, really good defensive stats, rebounding stats, while also being mobile. You're not going to be very quick, you're not going to be very fast or agile, and that is an issue. So that's why I went 6'10. Obviously, if you don't care about that and you prefer to just have really better, stats as far as rebounding or just speed, strength, rebounding, blocks, and stuff like that, then obviously you can go higher on the height. This is just what I went with for my rim protector build. And do keep in mind, you'll be able to play around and booster this build better with cap breakers and things of that nature, plus ones and whatnot for your badges and stuff. So do take heed and remember that. But with that being said, let's jump into the build. Now, I went 80 on the close shot. I went 80 on the drive and layup. I went 73 on the drive and dunk. And then I went 72 on the standing dunk. And then we went 77 on the post control. Now, this right here is just really nice as far as finishing goes because it gives you diversity on your build. You have close shot, you have driving layup, you also have a 73 driving dunk, so you'll be able to dunk the ball. You'll have posterizer and whatnot. You have standing dunk, you'll have bronze rise up. And then you also have a 77 post control, which goes a long way. You see, you have silver hook specialist, you'll have silver post up poet, you will also have post powerhouse and post fade phenom on this build, meaning that you will be able to score in a variety of ways down low, whether it's a standing dunk, a driving dunk, whether you're using a dunk meter, whether you're throwing up a layup, a hop step, a spin, a euro, a floater, or if you're just straight up going into the post, whether it's in the mid-range or whether it's down low in the low post and throwing up a hook, a drop step, a post spin, or anything like that. You have, variety in which you can score in many different ways. Moving on to the shooting, we do have a 70 on the midi and then a 76 on the three ball. And I just did that because, again, you want that variety. You don't want to be one-dimensional. You don't want to just be an inside big where dudes could just sag off. Your man is just sitting paint and makes it difficult for your team to score. That 76 three ball, you post up in a corner somewhere. Bronze set shot specialist, you throw a +1 on that. Then you also take into consideration that you get in your hot spots. You go to my career, get your hot spots, get your lethal zones in those corners, as well as using the +1 for silver set shot specialist, and then even throwing a +1 or 2 of your cap breakers. If you go up to a 78, you see you'll have silver set shot specialist. You throw a +1 on that. Now you're looking at gold set shot specialist with a 78 three ball. You can do a lot with a little in this game. So do keep that in mind, that you do have those options when it comes to spacing the floor. You will be able to space the floor and make your matchup a nightmare. So that's what I was thinking when I was making this build. I do want to have that little three ball. You got a little 70 mid-range as well too, so you can go out of the post, maybe use a +1 on post fade phenom. Who knows? There's just a different variety of things that you can do just to make your build, just a little bit better and a little bit more lethal when it comes to shooting. We'll come back to the free throw because I pretty much just threw whatever I had left over on the free throw. Moving to the playmaking, we're looking at a 78 on the pass accuracy. We're looking at a 78 on the ball handle, which is actually pretty nice because you'll be able to put the ball on the floor. And then we're looking at a 65 with the speed with ball, which means that as a center, you're going to have the advantage on the perimeter. You're going to have a 78, damn near 80 ball handle as a center, as a big. You're going to have a 78 pass accuracy, which is serviceable, and then you're going to have a 65 speed with ball. Most centers and bigs in this game don't have super high perimeter defense, and you're going to be going up against mostly 7-foot bigs, 7'1" bigs. That's usually the meta when it comes to big men and center, which means that they're not going to have the perimeter nor the agility to keep up with you, because everybody is going high strength, everybody's going high rebounding, high block, interior defense, and all of that comes with lower speed and lower agility. So on the perimeter, you are going to be a matchup nightmare for bigs. Unless they switch off and they let the small forward or power forward guard you on the perimeter, you're going to be able to, have your way with them. Pause. You're going to be able to have your way with them on the perimeter. They're just not going to be able to keep up with you. They're not going to be able to stay in front of you. And then you're also going to have an 80 layup and a 73 drive and dunk. So when you do cook them on the perimeter, when you get to the rim, you'll be able to finish as well too. If you're not pulling with a 70 midi or a 76 3 ball, you feel like you don't really trust that shot because the ratings are too low, you got your 73 drive and dunk, your 80 layup, your 80 close shot, your 72 standing dunk, which will then kick in and you'll be able to score at the rim. Moving on to the defense though, we do have a 77 interior defense, which isn't the greatest, I will admit, but it is serviceable. If you know how to play good defense, you know when to jump, when not to jump, when to play hands up defense, based on the positioning and the animations, you can get by with the 77 interior defense. My very first big, my interior enforcer only has a 74 interior defense, and I have no problem getting stops. I just got to always be on my A game. If you're running with anything lower than an 85 interior defense, I will say that you have to be on your A game. You have to always be playing the best defense possible. You can't sag off and take plays off or think you're just going to play hands up defense and get stops 24/7. That's not going to work that way. You're going to have to know when to play hands up. You're going to have to know when to jump. So don't go lower interior defense unless you are a good defender. I'm a good defender, so I'm perfectly okay with going with a 77 interior defense. If you feel like this is too low, again, you can always tweak these builds. These are just a blueprint for you guys to get the name rim protector. You can always tweak this and make this, better. If you want higher interior defense, you can put your interior defense up a little bit more just to bolster that defense. But do keep in mind that when you change certain attributes, you will potentially be changing a name. Enough yap. We're going on to our other attributes. We're looking at a 66 perimeter defense. So when we do step out on the perimeter, we will be able to get a shot contest, because that's what this is for. It's not so much that we can get badges or anything, which you can, because this build can get 79 perimeter defense. I went 66 perimeter because I want some type of shot contest when I switch on the pick and roll. If you don't have any type of perimeter defense whatsoever, or your perimeter defense is a 25 or a 44, when you do make those switch on the pick and roll and you go out there and put a hand up, you're not going to get any shot contest on a PG. Trust me, I have 3 bigs. I've seen it myself. I have to jump in order to get a shot contest on those people because my perimeter defense is non-existent, which kind of sucks. But I'm usually not switching on the pick and roll. I'm usually hedging and forcing them back to, my PG. So usually it's not too much of a problem for me. But if you're playing against good players, a good guard, they're going to want to make that switch because they know you don't have perimeter to, stay in front of them or to, get that shot contest on them. So they're going to try to force that switch. Moving on to the steal, we do have a 60 steal just for bronze interceptor so we can play those passing lanes. It's really the only reason why I slapped the 60 steal on there. And then finally for our block, we're looking at a 96 on the block maxed out, which is going to get us gold paint patroller. And then you obviously have the the chance to throw a +1 on that paint patroller, which is what I would be doing. If not throwing it on high flying denier, I would be throwing it on paint patroller for Hall of Fame paint patroller. Trust me, it is worth it. I have a build with 99 block and like 89 interior defense with legend paint patroller legitimately without +1, just legitimately with attributes. And legend paint patroller is such a godsend. So, even if you can't get that threshold for, legend, which is costly, you should be trying to reach that threshold for at least gold or Hall of Fame. Is going to definitely be your bread and butter when it comes to playing defense down low. Then for the rebounding, we do have 60 O board with an 82 D board. But do keep in mind that you can put a +1 on your rebound chaser as well as throw 5+ to your cap breaker to get an 87 defensive rebound. Now, I tell you guys all the time, rebounding, while your attributes is important, rebounding is about positioning and boxing out. And if you ask any good big in this game, they will tell you the same thing. There's been times where I have a 97 rebound and like a 92, 93 O board, and I'm boxing a dude out, and he just finds a way to get in front of me and grab the board. I have legend rebound chaser, and I'll have a guy running in from behind me, just run and jump and snatch it like right above my head. Like, even though I got him boxed out, even though I'm in front of him, like I said, like, it's about positioning and it's about animations. Obviously, the better the attributes, the better the animations, yes. But if you have good positioning and you have, the ability to box out, you will still board. I've had games where I've literally gotten out rebounded by a dude with like a 85 D board, and I got like a 92 D board and a 92 O board, and I've gotten like horse, like, and I'm looking at him like, how is he getting this rebound over me if he got an 85 D board and I have a 90 O board or a 92 O board? And those are the games that make you realize, like, it's not just about attributes, it's not just about badges. The stick play, the stick work, your skill on the sticks also matter too. And then moving on to our physicals, we're looking at a 63 speed. We're looking at a 67 agility, which I always tell you guys is very important for being quick, agile. Those quick bursts of speed. You really want that agility a little bit higher than you want that speed, because it's just extremely, extremely vital. For the strength, we're looking at an 88 on the strength, which isn't too bad because most bigs you're going to be matching up with will have at least a 91 strength. I've seen some bigs with lower strength like 87, 85, but most bigs are going to have like at least a 91 strength. So you're in that ballpark area. You're not going to be too much at a disadvantage unless you go up against like a pure inside post scoring big, which in that case, it doesn't really matter. They're going to have like a 95, 96, almost 99 strength anyway. And even if you had 91, you're still going to be at a disadvantage anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. But this build does go up to a 99 strength, so you can put +5 on there and go to a 93 or a 91 if that's what you want to do. And then finally, we have our vertical, which we have a 77 on our vertical, getting us gold pogo, bronze posterizer, rise up, gold aerial wizard, and silver high flying denier. And then the rest of the points I would have put into our free throw, maxing that out at a 94 free throw. Now obviously, if you don't play fives or you play park or something like that, then you don't have to go 94 free throw. You could bring this down to like an 80 something, 75, 85ish, and then put these points elsewhere. Maybe go perimeter defense or interior defense, pass accuracy. You have your options. You have finishing. You can go elsewhere when it comes to these stats if you want, or even your post control, bolster that down some or whatever. Totally up to you what you choose to go with. But of course, when we create our build, you'll see the shades of. You see Chet Holmgren, you see Bam Adebayo, and you also see Anthony Davis up there. And then of course you see our build name, which is the Rim Protector. So there you have it. This is my Rim Protector build for NBA 2K25. Please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K25 content. And of course, more rare builds like this. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.